Live with another edition of what we call Fusion Radio, man. All up in the shop, man. Celebrating people, man, that do dope things. And, man, it's a pleasure to do it with my brother, man, Keith, every single week, man. So we got a really dope combination thing, man. We got a brother, man. He is a poet. And I'm definitely excited about getting into it with him about that. But he's also a photographer. We met him at Media Day about a month ago. And our good friend, Shayla, at the other station, man, said, man, you gotta have him on Fusion Radio, man. So,
yes, sir.
Man, got our brother in the building, man, Junethepoet, man. Welcome to Fusion Radio, fam.
Thank you for having me. How y'all doing today?
Well, man, we like super geeked up about getting into it with your movement, man, and definitely, man, if we get that opportunity, I know we sort of putting you on the spot. I think Keith see where I'm going with this is.
Oh, yeah.
Is if you want to spit one of them pieces live, you know, what's some clean.
Oh yeah, no, I was just looking through my phone because I had to see if I had some pieces, which I do.
Yeah. Look at that.
Nah, this is, if I can find it, it's a piece I wrote like 3 weeks ago. It's called Lovely Locks. And basically the piece is just me trying to flirt with somebody that didn't know I had a crush on them. So hopefully they get the message somehow, some way. But it goes like this. It may not seem like it, but I'm a shy guy. So I hope you don't find this weird if this is how I choose to say, hi, I'm I'm Chris. I'm shy. I couldn't help but notice how your presence changed the room. So when you spoke so beautifully, I'm intrigued. I became lost in your beauty. I saw you from afar. I often catch myself glancing in your direction, low-key wishing just for a second for our eyes to make contact, establishing this silent dialogue of a bridge of connections. I heard when you spoke to the heart of the black man. Your words drew me in like an illustrator, how you beautifully painted a dream that I would often hope for, being in love, with comfort, eagerly, and at times impatiently, waiting for someone to be that reflection, showing me outside of my own self that I am deserving of love. See, I'm observant. I'm extremely shy, and I don't know how to flirt. I can't tell when someone is flirting for me, see. I never been Cam, I never been Zach, I never been Zion, Ben, Andrew, or Victor. Translation, I never got drafted first, often overlooked, but the good ones usually are. Shouts out to Curry. I gotta ask though, will you see me? Will you take the time to get to know me and understand that a perfect man I can never be, but I can boldly say that I want to be the man for you? When you finally look at me in the eyes, will you be able to see that the love that I'm so eagerly and impatiently waiting to share? Would you be able to love me even if I didn't know and I'm unsure of what that actually meant to love myself? But I ask you to forgive me. See, I often tend to be a mirror as I self-reflect, and I often forget about the good times, wishing that this was a different world, because I'm still a boy trying to act grownish, living single until I get my straight so I can have a proud family, because, you know, family matters. Hey, Lovely Locks. So free and so beautiful. I hope you don't mind if this is how I choose to say hi. I'm a shy guy with deep dimples, but you knew that already. I hope that one day I'll be able to look you in those beautiful eyes and say, hi, it's nice to meet you. And that's that piece.
See, you know what I love is, I was going to step in if you didn't say that's that piece. See, I done been to them sets, so I know when they end the sets, they always end with, that's that piece.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The octaves drop a little bit. You just know how the octaves...
And that's that piece.
All right, man. So look, it's Fusion Radio. It's Brian Stinson. It's Keith, man. It's our brother, man, Junethepoet, man. And you know what I want to do? I want to honestly step back because Keith and Junethepoet were having a dope conversation about spoken word poetry, and they want to bring that on the air. So I'm going to step back, let them have that conversation, and then I'll come back and chop it up more with the homie.
So, first, I want to start off basically like, okay, for example, when you was writing that piece right there that we just sat down and listened to, like, it's, okay, so it's kind of different for me, per se, from actually listening, because it's like, okay, I'm an artist, you feel me? I make music, so it's like, to sit here and listen to you low-key spit bars, but you not spitting bars, though.
Yeah.
Like, because it's not necessarily a certain type of flow you going for, a certain type of vibe you going for. It's really mainly straight out the bars, though. So it's like, how do you necessarily work on that? Like, cause, like, basically what I'm saying, like, for example, when I'm rapping, it's a certain type of flow, it's a certain type of vibe I'm trying to give off with my words and stuff like that. But that's
Right.
not necessarily what you're trying to do with being a poet. So how would you really like categorize that, like what you necessarily doing with your words?
So when it comes to like trying to, I guess, put bars in certain pieces, right? I love rappers, lyricists in particular, right? Every time I hear a particular song, I like the wordplay. So I don't often focus on trying to incorporate wordplay into some of my poems. But when I do have that moment, right, I kind of try to put something that's kind of relatable. Like when I had that Proud Family, the Family Matters scheme, and everything of that nature. It was just it wasn't a hard thing to do because it kind of just seemed to flow naturally. And then it'll be times like when I'm just driving, and then I just be thinking of random bars in my head, and like I gotta put this in a piece. It may not be in this recent piece, but it's gonna kind of fit how it fits, and then it just kind of flow how it flows. It don't work all the time, but when it does, I'll be happy.
Cause it's like I'm sitting here listening to you, I'm like, man, now if he would have chopped that up a certain type of way and like put that to a beat, it'd be cold based off. Cause with me, when I listen to music, I want to listen to music that's, like you talking about something, but it's not so much what you talking about, it's the way you explain it, how you break it down. Cause I feel like that's one thing that kind of like sets certain artists and certain like people like apart. Like, we might be talking about per se the same things, but it's a certain type of way you went about talking about it, and it's a certain type of way you broke it down. So it's like I definitely get that though. You feel me? That's cold though. So like, where did the whole passion with making poetry come from though?
Okay, so poetry is therapy for me, and it's a way that it's the only way really I know how to healthily express myself, right? And I didn't realize that until I actually started to be around poets and to be actually speaking. And then when I started sharing some of my pieces, like some of my deeper pieces, I got a few that are, you know what I'm saying, based on situations that I've been through in life and then how I overcome, right? So when I would share those pieces, I would share them just because, you know, encouraging myself. But then once I'm done, there'll be people coming up to me like, hey, that piece really touched me. I didn't know you was dealing with this. I'm also, you know what I'm saying, dealing with that. So it's good to kind of see that. And then I also wanted to be, you know what I'm saying, the type of poet to not be afraid to express himself. Because I don't see, and it's not, no knocks to, you know what I'm saying, other black poets, black men in particular. But I don't see a lot of black poets, black men in particular, you know what I'm saying, talking about mental health or, you know what I'm saying, the depression and, you know what I'm saying. And I wanted to be that because this is something that I wanted to see growing up. So how to, you know what I'm saying, get to that. So if I'm able to be that reflection, it can be help other people kind of get through their stuff or begin that process of healing.
So was it like, okay, so being a poet, you have to, I wouldn't necessarily say you have to be outspoken, but in some type of way, you have to be comfortable with speaking. You feel me? You have to be comfortable in some type of way with sitting in front of other people or just being around other people saying what you need to say. Because it's like, you can make your poems and stuff and you could keep them to yourself, but I would believe that if you really want to take it serious and go to a certain level with your art, you would have to get comfortable with actually being in front of people and spitting your lick. You feel me? So like, was it natural for you to just be going on stage and doing your thing, or did it did you have to work up to that?
So it's even, I think I stopped getting nervous within like the last 2 or 3 weeks. Now, I get nervous every time, but I always find a way to more or less work through it. Because I get the shakes in my leg. I'm like, okay. So I kind of like get to moving around, but I try not to be so obvious, you know what I'm saying, so that the crowd doesn't know that I'm like kind of nervous or whatever the case may be. So when I'm able to lock in and everything, because it only happens within like the first 30 seconds, and then like once I start to get through the piece, then I got the crowd locked, and then it kind of just goes. But it's always some type of nervous, but the more you do it, the more comfortable it is, and it's just like, all right, cool.
That's what I'm talking about, man. No, I asked that because, see, ever since I've been a part of the show, one thing I've been trying to do is I try to take certain tips and certain things that different artists and different people that come in say and trying to incorporate into my own thing, because at the same time, we're different, but with you being a poet and me being an artist, but at the same time, we're not that different, though. A lot of the things that you do are the same things that I do, and a lot of things that I do are the same things you do.
Exactly.
So it's like, in some type of way, I can take certain tips and certain things that you do and incorporate into what I'm trying to do. I might have to flip certain things, but certain things I might not have to flip. So it's like, that's why I asked you that specific question, because, like, for example, when I did the last show I just did, at one point in the beginning, I did get nervous, you feel me? And because it was to the point where I haven't really performed at a certain type of level with a certain type of stage and like with a certain type of crowd. So I'm like, man, seeing that for the first time, and then you see all the cameras, all the lights, like you would get caught up in the moment.
Right.
But at the same time, you still supposed to do your thing, though.
That's what you've been working for. That's what you want to be. That's what you wanted.
Exactly.
You know what
That's what you wanted. So you got to be ready for that. So I definitely get what you're saying. So I want to transition a little bit, though. You feel me? I want to transition into the to the photos. You feel me? You being a photo, taking photos and stuff like that. So how did that necessarily go about? And like, is that like more of a hobby, or is that like that's another thing that you really pursuing out here too?
So, how the whole photography thing started off, I got my first camera when I was in Korea. I was in the Army, so I ended up getting a camera. Now I just got it just because, and then once my son was born, I kind of really started taking pictures with it, but it wasn't like, let me go take pictures of other people. But something kind of drew me into it, if you will, as far as like the programs is like how to edit photos and everything like that. So I started to fall down a rabbit hole, YouTube. And everything like that. So once I started falling down to YouTube, there's Adobe. So then I subscribed to the Adobe Cloud. So the way that I see things, if I'm subscribed to it, I'm going to have to utilize it. So I'm not going to waste my money on this program and not learn how to use this program. So eventually, I started learning how to use After Effects, Premiere Pro, Lightroom, and a couple other different programs. Just basically all on YouTube. And I began to practice with my camera. I got good at it. I started doing more research on different type of cameras and stuff like that, and then it just became a passion. So I wouldn't say it's more of a hobby. It's what I want to do. So it's my business. I have my LLC since like either 2020 or 2019, one of the two. But it's something that I've been wanting to do. Although business is slow, it's still something I'm passionate about because I'm good at what I do given the opportunity.
So like with your camera, what's certain like things that you bring to the table, or like what certain like avenues you going to? So like, is it just taking pictures, just straight taking pictures, or is like taking pictures, doing videos, stuff like that? Like,
nah, for me, I want to be the jack of all trades with it. So basically, the end game is any needs behind the camera, I should be able to accommodate. So if you need a video, I got that. If you need pictures, I can take pictures. If you need something edited, I know how to do some edits. If you need like a typography video or a lyric video, I know how to do those. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just better to have your hand like multiple in different pots because it's just a way to constantly grow and elevate because you may never know what people may need. Not everybody may want a picture or a video. Sometimes they just want their lyrics or, you know what I'm saying, a quick reel. And it's easy enough putting it together.
So, like, you definitely got to get people your social medias and stuff, bro, so they could definitely tap in with you because, first of all, it's already cold that, you feel me, you a poet, you doing your thing on the stage, you feel me, you giving these amazing pieces and stuff like that, but at the same time, you still take pictures and you real passionate with your photography, so you definitely got to get people your social medias and stuff so they can tune in with you.
So I definitely got to do better with updating, but as far as for Instagram, if you, my it's going to be Pritchett Perfect Studio, so PRITCHETT_perfect_STU. You follow me, I follow you back. And then I'm on TikTok as well. If you just hashtag Junethepoet, you should see my face. And likewise, I also be dropping some of my poems on TikTok and some on Instagram Reels as well.
For sure, man, for sure. So like, say for instance, people out here that's watching and they looking and stuff like that and they seeing you and they like, man, I want to see if bro could do some pictures for me, or I want to see if bro could probably mess around and shoot one of my videos. Like, how much would you per se charge for like to come out and take pictures or necessarily like shoot a video if you wanted to?
Location dependent, since I'm up north and everything like that. But typically starting off at like 200, and then like that's for like videos and for photos And with the photos, you'll get a lot of them. And then with the videos, that's just the minimum, depending on what you're looking for and everything of that nature.
Mm. That's what I'm talking about, my boy. Man, that's crazy though, cause like I always wanted to sit down and take pictures and stuff like that, but it's like I know it's a lot that comes to that because you go on Instagram and stuff like that, and you see people with they different pictures, you like.
I be instantly critiquing pictures because like when I see a picture, like I always figure out like how can I do it better. Not to say that the picture sucks per se, but it's just like sometimes it's just the minor adjustments. Like people don't necessarily know how to crop their pictures out. Cropping your pictures can make a trash picture turn phenomenal. And people don't understand it's that simple trick.
Yeah, because that's what I was just going to say. Like when you look at certain people's pictures, it's like you can tell those one pictures just took off no phone, or just regular pictures that like a regular person just took. Like you could tell like somebody kind of fake edited the picture or just made them look way better than they would regular though.
Right.
Man, that's crazy, man. That's what I'm talking about. But this was a great conversation, my boy. You feel me? Definitely a great interview and stuff like that. So just before we get up out of here, definitely get the people your social medias and stuff again because, they probably didn't hear them or probably didn't catch them and stuff like that. So you definitely got to get into it with your moon.
So for the Instagram, my Instagram is going to be Pritchett Perfect Stew. That's PRITCHETT_perfect_STU. And then I'm on TikTok as well. #Junethepoet. And then Facebook, Chris Pritchett Jr.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's my boy, Junethepoet, man. And we definitely got some more amazing guests coming up. But we'll be right back. We finna take this little break. It's Fusion Radio with Brian Stinson and Keith.